it's me. I'm coming to you from my front stoop today. It's only like 40 degrees out, but the sun is actually out today and it has been like the gloomiest winter ever. Just gloomy and raining, depressing. It's hardly snowed. Every time it like snows, it's like turns to rain or slush or melts right away. It's just been so gloomy, and the sun was finally shining, although now it seems like it's getting cloudy. But I just felt like I just wanted to sit outside and just get some sunlight on my face. So today I'm going to do a little video on making dinner, but specifically attempting to make bread. I have made bread over my lifetime on occasion, and I have had some successes but many failures. I don't know, uneasily. People make it seem like making bread is so easy, and I think back to like the olden days when women like just made bread like every day all the time. Like, it doesn't seem like it should be that hard, but I don't know why I have such trouble with it. But I found on YouTube there's like all these videos about how you can make like super fast bread with like no kneading and whatever, and a lot of them call for a Dutch oven. I don't even have a Dutch oven, but I found one that you can make with this like super fast method in a cast iron skillet. So I'm gonna try that today and see what happens. The rest of dinner is gonna be angel hair with pesto from a jar, which I would consider trying to make my own pesto, but I don't know where close to me I could get enough basil to make that fresh. But I might try that sometime in the future. And I'm gonna make a veggie and dip tray to go with it, and some chicken sausage that I bought yesterday that I forget what flavor it is. I think it's like garlic and Gruyere flavored chicken sausage or something like that. So I'm gonna give the bread a try. And you might notice that my hair is blonder than perhaps the last couple videos, and I should have filmed that whole thing, but I was too embarrassed. That was quite a saga in and of itself, and the color it is the color it is, and I'm just gonna be happy with that. So anyway, and I've already been to the doctor with Kylie this morning because she's been having these weird, like, not really in her stomach, I think it's like in her intestines, because it's not like right when she eats, it's like a few hours after she eats. It's not every day, but it's most days, and it like this pain that she has like moves around. And she tried eating yogurt and tried taking a probiotic, and we tried like waiting a while, and it just seems like it's just not going away. So I took her to the doctor this morning, and the doctor wants her to keep a food diary so we can maybe figure out if she's like allergic to something, or something's disagreeing with her or whatever. So I already took her to the doctor this morning. Then I went to the dump, well, the transfer station really. Got rid of all our recyclables and garbage, and so now I'm just catching a little bit of sunlight, which is already disappearing, before I go in and attempt bread. Alright, so I've got my recipe here and the video here, and I've got my ingredients here, and I want to show you something before I even start. This recipe just calls for warm water, but I know that in order to make successful yeast bread, it's supposed to be like between 100 and 110 degrees, and that can be where you go wrong in your yeast recipe. So I just want to show everyone, in case this goes wrong, that the temperature of my water is 100, I can't read it now, but it was 104 a minute ago. Yes, it's 104, 105. So this should be at the proper temperature. So if this goes wrong, it's not because the water was at the wrong temperature. And this guy has a couple interesting things that are different from other videos I've seen about doing this. One thing that he does is before he starts, he microwaves the bowl for a minute. So I'm going to try that, which seems really weird to microwave an empty bowl, but hopefully that'll be okay. Another problem I think I've had when I've tried bread in the past is we keep our house very cold because Kevin is very frugal. And I think there have been times where I've tried to make bread where it didn't proof well because it wasn't warm enough, and I probably didn't like look enough into the tricks for making it warm to proof the dough, and the air just isn't warm enough. But this guy said that if you don't have like a warm spot or whatever, you can put the oven light on in your oven with the door closed, and the oven light will raise the inside of the oven to like about 80 degrees. So I've actually already turned my oven light on in preparation for that, and we'll see how that does proofing the dough. So I think that's pretty interesting little trick, and maybe that will help with this, make this be successful. Ooh, the bowl is like hot. I'm a little worried about this, but anyway, all right, so the recipe is 3½ cups of flour, 1¼ teaspoons of yeast, 1½ teaspoons of salt, and 13 ounces of warm water, which I have proved to you already. I have at the correct temperature. Plus, putting it in this warm bowl is, actually, I hope it's not gonna be too hot. So I am going to mix these ingredients up and see where we get with that. Alright, so this is where I am now. This is very weird, but this guy, he actually stirs his bread with the handle of the spoon. I guess he mentions in one of his videos that it's kind of like the dough hook on a bread machine. So anyway, this is the dough following the instructions so far. And I already turned the oven light on in my oven, and I'm going to put it in the oven, and this has to proof for 1 hour and 30 minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to cut up the vegetables I'm going to use for my vegetable tray tonight. And I'm going to look for a new dip recipe. We always make like the same 3 dips. Let's see if I can find something else. Usually we make either French onion dip from like the French onion soup mix, dill dip, which has like been a recipe in our family for like as long as I've been married. And we have this other like fiesta dip, which is like a Mexican dip. There's got to be some other kind of dip out there, so I'll see if I can find something. Otherwise, I'll probably just default to dill dip, I suppose, but we'll see. Okay, so for what it's worth, I realized that I was supposed to cover the bowl of dough with plastic wrap. So actually, I did that right after I had put it in, so hopefully we're good with that. And I looked through many of my cookbooks trying to find some kind of a dip recipe, like for chips and dip or vegetables and dip, and I couldn't hardly find anything, but finally I did find one in this cookbook here, and it's basically just ranch dip, but it's homemade and not from the envelope that you buy at the store. So I'm gonna try making that homemade and see if that's good. Okay, so I made the homemade ranch dip and I taste tested it. It tastes pretty good. And I've put some in this little tray that I have for making veggie trays. And it made more than this. The rest is in a bowl in the fridge. So that'll be a side dish for our dinner. And I've already snuck a few peeks at the bread in the oven. Well, not the bread yet, but the dough. And it rose like almost like doubled in size. So I'm really excited. I think there could be hope for this. Wow, look at this. This is like looks like it looked in the video like it's supposed to. That's great. So now the next thing that the gentleman does in the video is he uses the handle of the spoon to degas, pull, and stretch it. So all he does is that's like all he does. That's it. I know this seems too good to be true, but so far so good. Okay, so the next thing he does is he puts some sesame seeds on using what he calls the roll and coat method. All right, 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds. Ooh, I think I'm gonna have just about enough. Seems like a lot. Just roll and coat, he says. I don't know, that looks kind of uneven to me, but oh well. And then, not in this video, but in another video that I watched, where he talks about garnishing, you can either use a little bit of beaten egg or some oil to like brown the outside. And I thought this looked kind of sickly white. I mean, it's brownish when it's done, but I didn't think it looked that good. So I'm going to try putting some oil on here and roll to coat to hopefully make it brown up. All right. And then I have my skillet, my cast iron skillet, which is, he sprayed it with vegetables or olive oil spray, whatever, which I've done. And then put the bread in here. And now I believe I have to cover this with a towel and let it rise again for, I think it's a half an hour. I'll double check. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is to cover this with a towel and let it proof for 30 minutes. And then in the meantime, I have to preheat the oven to 400 degrees. When it gets closer to the 30 minutes are up, and it'll go in the oven at 400 degrees. So let me let this rest for 30 minutes and I'll come back and we'll see how we're going. All right, the oven is preheated and it's been a half an hour. So let's take a look. Ooh, looks pretty good. It did rise since I put it in the skillet. So now I have to bake it for 40 minutes at 400 degrees. So in the meantime, I've gone ahead and set the table. For some reason that I don't understand, Kylie and Kevin do not need or use napkins. So you can always tell where I'm sitting because it's the place that has the napkin, because I definitely need napkins. And I have it decorated a little bit for Valentine's Day. I try to always kind of at least do a little theme here in the dining room of whatever holiday's coming next. And then here's the chicken sausage that I'm making for dinner. Just gotta heat these up and saute them a little bit. And then I'm gonna be making, as I said before, the angel hair pasta with cheater pants, basil pesto. Alright, it's been 40 minutes. I've been sneaking a peek at it in there, and it definitely looks like bread, although I have to say, usually one of the great things about making bread is it makes a really good homemade bread smell. And I don't really smell anything from this. Wow, it looks pretty nice though, huh? Looks pretty good. All right, family, are you ready for this home-baked bread?
I'm
Yes!
scared.
Me too. Here, why don't you film while I cut it open?
Wait.
The moment of
It
truth.
looks like a chicken. Like if you see it, it looks like a wing.
Yeah, it's like a little chicken wing on the
Yeah.
end.
Who wants the wing?
Not me.
Ooh.
We almost just lost half of it.
Nice.
Pretty good, actually. It's bread. I made it.
Wow.
All right.
That's
here.
it?
Up here. All right, well, thanks for coming to my video today and watching me make turbo bread. Please like and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time. Love you, bye. Okay, so here's a PS on that video. I said in the video that I was gonna link the video that I watched for the turbo bread in the comments, but I am not actually going to do that, and the reason is because the bread was really not very good. I mean, I don't regret making it or even fault the guy who made the video because it really helped me to, well, it gave me a couple really great tricks, the microwaving the bowl and using the oven light to help proof the bread, which are excellent tips, and I'm really glad for those because I think those are really going to help me in my future bread making attempts. My cat is here, by the way. Where is she? There she is. Anyway, but the thing is the bread was not very good. Like at all. I mean, we ate it that night for dinner, like when it was hot and, you know, you put butter on it. It was fine. But it didn't even make the house smell good, which was kind of weird. Like, one of the best things about baking homemade bread is the good smell it makes. It didn't even make a good smell. And when you, especially when it was cool, like afterwards, like the next day, when you would bring like a slice up to your face to take a bite, all I could smell was like flour. Like, not good. And I mean, I'm not like shocked or disappointed or anything. I mean, it was like super simple bread with like nothing extra added to, you know, make it like taste great. So it's not like I'm like shocked or upset or anything like that. It's just, I guess that was like super duper, super basic bread and it didn't taste that good. So I don't really recommend it, but I'm still glad I made it because I learned a couple things and it makes me feel more confident that I could try something better. But what is something better? I gotta now try to see, I don't know, look for like a easy-ish bread recipe that's gonna actually taste good. I don't know. If you have any suggestions, leave them for me in the comments. Thanks. Love you. Bye.